Hi everyone, I've had someone ask me how to do a self-closing mock ring and mock picot. Now I've been wanting to do a video on that anyway, so decided now's as good a time as any. You'll see these techniques individually, but you're more likely to see them used together. They can be used in lots of different situations. The most common one is when you need to climb out of a round. So a self-closing mock ring is actually a chain that is pretending to be a ring. With one minor alteration to our hand setup, we can turn our chain into a mock ring. A mock picot uses bare thread from both shuttle and ball, or our second shuttle, to create the picot. So both are just big pretenders, hence the word mock in their titles. Now you're going to need two shuttles or a ball and shuttle wound with continuous thread. Set your hand up as if you're about to make a chain. Now we're going to make a loop with our thread. You can use your little finger, loop it around if you like, back into the pinch. You can loop it around your ring finger if you prefer, or you can just loop the thread and let it hang, whatever you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter as long as you have a loop. The loop's important if we're going to turn our chain into a ring. If there's no loop, there's no ring. It will just be a chain. Now we make our stitches as we normally would. So we'll do 6, picot 6. If you decide not to loop your thread around your finger, just be careful you don't pull it. You can see if I pull on my thread, it's going to pull my loop through. We don't want to lose our loop. Take the ball thread off your hand and you can see it looks like a normal chain with a loop at the start. Make sure your loop's not twisted and pass your shuttle through that loop. Hold onto your stitches and pull on the thread. This will close our loop and pull the two ends of our chain together. And that gives us our mock ring. From here we're going to make a mock picot. So set your hand up as if you're continuing on with a chain. Normally we would make the first half of our stitch and we'd flip it. This time we don't want our stitch to flip, so keep this thread taut. Make the first half and pull it down to the length you want your picot to be. Hold on to it. When we make the second half of our stitch, we do want it to flip. This locks our picot into place. And that's it. We have a mock ring with a mock picot. I'd just like to go back to picot length for a tick. Most of you will know that I always use gauges for my picots, but in this instance I'm going to use a gauge because I think it will make more sense to you if you can see what I'm talking about. Whether you normally use a gauge or not is irrelevant. What is important is that your picots are all consistent in size. So when we make a normal picot, the working thread is used to leave a length of thread in between our double stitches. When we push our double stitches together, the length of thread is halved, forming our picot. So I started with a 1 centimetre gauge, which gave me a 5mm picot. Just going to finish out my mock ring so you can see. purposely put my Picot on the side so we can compare it in a second if I get myself untangled. Okay, so if I make a mock Picot using the same gauge, my Picot is going to be twice the size, twice the height of the other Picot, because I'm not halving my thread. I'm using the working thread and the core thread to create my Picot by meeting in the middle. So my Picot will be the full width, full height of the gauge. If I wanted a 5mm Picot to be the same as this one, I'm going to need to use a 5mm gauge. Now I actually prefer to make my mock Picots slightly smaller again to accommodate for the stitch which holds the mock Picot together. So as with all tatting, this is my own personal preference. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.